Hello, HIW Wildside wrestling fans. You may not know me yet, but I am Dad Bobby, and I'm here with Papa Smokes, and I've taken over for that numbskull Munson for this evening, so I'm going to be your commentator, and it's an honor to be here with Papa Smokes. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Bad Bobby? This is a bit of a treat for me to get the bad one here tonight.
Yeah, well, you lucked out, and here I am, and all these fans should be grateful that they don't have to listen to that numbskull Munson talking throughout this entire episode. I mean, I can't stand listening to the guy for 5 minutes, let alone an entire hour of this garbage.
Well, I couldn't agree more.
Anyway, reason I'm here tonight is because, we gave that little douchebag Better Bobby the night off, and I sent Munson down to ringside to do all the filming here tonight. So we're going to get started with J.G. Muller, I guess this guy, this is what they call him, guy in suit. Was this guy even the original guy in suit, Pop Smokes?
Yeah, I believe he is, and I believe he was. He looks awesome in the suit.
He looks okay. I think I can pull it off a little bit better myself, but we'll see how this goes. Thanking all the sponsors there tonight. I guess that's what drives the show, keeps it going. So I guess thank you to those sponsors that do their best to help out and everything.
He's the co-owner of HIW and will be your special guest referee for the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Alexander Prime.
Proud to be joined by half owner of HIW, Alexander Prime, here tonight. What's your opinions on this one here, Papa Smokes? What do you make of Alexander Prime?
Well, I have great respect for Alexander Prime for his wrestling skill, but I'm not so sure about him as owner. He's getting in Los Rudos' business, suspending people right, left, and center. I don't know what to think of Alexander Prime at this point.
Yeah, what's the scoop with that? I mean, suspending the guys, they haven't been present on the show for like 4 weeks now. I mean, what would this show be without Los Rudos?
Got that right.
GM. That's right, yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, this man needs no introduction. Please welcome our new HIW Wildside GM.
New Wildside GM. Wow. I didn't get the memo on this one. Since when do we have a new GM? I wonder if Munson was aware of this. I know he's been campaigning his best to become the new GM of this place. PM for GM, that is if that guy stands a chance. Oh, good God. And, here I am making fun of Munson getting the opportunity to be GM. Now look at this clown coming down to ringside.
What's going on here, Munson? It's a little bit early for the janitorial services to be here. Who's this guy?
Oh, I think you got a little confused there, Papa Smokes, calling me Munson. Remember, Munson's got the night off. He's down at ringside here. But I do like your comment about the janitorial service. That's priceless right there.
I want to thank Alexander Prime and Wildside Wrestling for giving me the opportunity to watch him try and fit into that shirt. All right. For those that don't know, I've had a storied history with high-impact wrestling and professional wrestling in general for over 20 years or so. So the opportunity came to bring consistency to HIW, to Wildside Wrestling, and oversee what goes on. Now that I'm here in Saskatoon, I've jumped at the chance for this role. So I'm very excited to announce, first of all, that after crowning a new provincial champion, after cashing in his guaranteed title shot tonight, Ace Riviera will be having his first title defense. And the man he will face is who I deem to be the #1 contender, Cannonball Kelly. Unfortunately, I do have to let
From my understanding, that matchup is going to appear a couple weeks now on Wildside TV.
Will not be occurring tonight. Van Danielson is currently injured and unable to compete. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, none of you came to pay and watch a guy in a suit. The original guy in suit. Battle my guns. So let's get this live.
Look who's here.
Oh, time somebody showed up to break up this mess inside the ring. Make it happen, new GM. Let's see what you can do.
For a second, you're not one of the most talented people on the Wildside roster. Your history speaks for itself. That said, you do not have a tag team partner. Thus, in good conscience, as a responsible general manager, I can't put you in a tag title match 1-on-2, especially when that tag team happens to be Flex Appeal. So, in the interest of fairness, to quote somebody famous, I will give you the opportunity to find a tag team partner for a non-title match tonight. And that way, all these hard-working, cash-paying, high-wrestling Impact fans will realize that they're not missing out on seeing your spectacular talent. I'll also give you the opportunity to have your tag title match reserved when your partner is healthy enough to compete.
What a fair GM.
It's on you though. You gotta find a partner and you gotta prove yourself here tonight.
I'll find the partner. Don't worry. I don't need one, but I'll find one. You don't have any great idea.
Now, like I was about to say,
That being said, it looks like an opportunity for Richard Blais to find a tag partner to take on Flex Appeal and have that tag match at a later date for the titles. Not tonight's match won't be for the tag titles. Who do you think he's got in the back that could be a possibility for him?
I could only imagine, Bobby, this Michael Blais is a superstar in HIW. I'm sure there are people who want to be his partner, and I'm sure there's people that don't. Oh my.
Speaking of partners,
Look who we have here.
welcome back to the show, gentlemen. Look at he's getting right in Bobby's face right there. I love it. Knock that smarky little.
This is what I like to see, Bobby, the true faction of HIW Wrestling Los Rudos. El Assassino and Dice Steel, the strongest force in Wildside Wrestling.
You notice one great thing about them is they lost about 180 pounds of weight in the last couple of months, and they have been stronger than ever without that little punk Musculo following behind.
Absolutely.
but I'm definitely not new to what's been going on in Wildside Wrestling. And you're suspended right now, so why are you here?
Because he's a bastard.
I'm not going to disagree with that at all. You know, for a very, very long time in HIW, myself and this man have been disrespected again and again and again and again. Can you believe that after 17 years in this business, this man has only held a singles title once? Can you believe it took me 8 years in HIW to capture my first singles championship? Yeah, coming from the people that have never accomplished anything in their lives. You paid to see us, by the way. You paid your hard-earned money to come and see me degrade you. Your people are pathetic.
That's what you tell him, champ.
You can mock us only one. I have your money in my pocket right now. Laugh at that. Laugh it up. Yeah. I get I'm suspended. I get it, okay? Let's go back to this respect thing. About a few days ago, a man by the name of Robert Munson.
Whoa, what?
Come on, Munson. Get in the ring. Let's have
I can't believe this moment here, Papa Smokes. Bobby is being called to the ring right now.
I've dreamed of this so many times, I just never thought it would actually happen.
Oh, he looks so out of place in there.
Oh, he looks terrified.
respect from a videographer, your videographer, I might add, calling me out on social media, anywhere, anytime. Well, guess what, Munson? This is anywhere and anytime. And like a man I am, I'm sure
About time. Give it to him, champ. Give it to him.
He's peeing right now. Oh, come on.
You like talk about spoiling the party. Who do these two think they are?
You know how many times I've wanted to see that go down, and then Tyler and McGraw have to spoil a party again.
I can't believe this. I mean, those guys have given a beat down to everyone who's ever stood in their way, and of all people, Munson gives them the slip.
One night can become a lot more nights. Here's what's going to happen, El Asesino. I'm going to give you the opportunity to actually have your suspension raised. Yes. For one night. And that happens to be right now. I don't care if you're ready or not. Because the fact is, Los Rudos are back in Wildside Wrestling, and you have a tag team match against the Intelligence. And by the way, if you don't win this match, your suspension is indefinite. You only have one shot, and that's to get in this ring and have this match now. If not, trust me, Mr. Prime has given me full authorization to start writing pink slips, pal.
Who does this guy think he is for giving an opportunity to the Intelligerms to even share the ring with Los Rudos? I mean, this is pathetic, Papa Smokes.
No kidding, Bad Bobby. I don't know who this janitor manager thinks he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a match, and it starts right now.
It looks like Astro Boy and the man with the longest hair in professional wrestling are now going to go up against Los Rudos. And Los Rudos aren't even prepared for this. I mean, they're not even dressed in their regular attire. I mean, who the hell thought this was a good idea?
Well, that's just it. Wildside management gets this new general manager on the scene, and everything gets turned upside down.
It seems like over and over and over again, all the disrespect, just like Asesino was talking about with Munson there. I mean, always disrespected him on this show, on social media. I've heard it all, and I've had about enough of it. I mean, maybe I need to go and smack this Munson guy around a few times, teach him a thing or two.
It's a great idea. I've thought of doing it numerous times.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody has, including his own family.
Well, we got ourselves a match now, an impromptu, non-title match, non-sanctioned. I don't know. Los Rudos don't even have their trunks on, I don't think, but we got a match starting up here anyway.
Absolute unfairness, too. New GM Mike McGuire making this matchup, and now also stating that if Asesino and Dice Steel do not come up with the win here, their suspension is indefinite. I mean, does this guy not realize that these two carry Wildside TV? They carry Wildside Wrestling on their shoulders. If it weren't for them, none of these people in this crowd tonight are even going to bother showing up. I mean, they might boo, they might pretend like they hate Asesino and Dice Steel, but deep down these people wouldn't know what the hell to do with themselves if that Los Rudos weren't even on this show.
He got that right. The show wouldn't even happen without the top performers looking their best every night.
Speaking of top performers, look at that. There you go, champ. You take Jeff Tyler out. Make him look like the punk he did at Battle Arts this year. Jeff Tyler taking control of the race, I think, for one. Well, unfortunately, Papa Smokes, apparently I'm being called away from the scene here, and unfortunately you're getting stuck with Bobby Munson. He's coming back, so it's been a pleasure being with you here tonight, but unfortunately Bobby's coming back.
I knew it was too good to last.
Hopefully we can do this again, Papa. You have a good night.
Bye, Bad Bobby.
Papa Smokes, how's it going? Bobby Munson here. How did you like my introduction to the ring here tonight?
Well, I liked the first part of it, but I wanted a better ending than that. I wanted the beatdown to go through.
I'm sure you did, and I'm sure Los Rudos did, but I'm looking just fine right now. Feeling good, too. Sorry I had to stick it with Bad Bobby there for a little while, and sorry to the fans out there have to listen to that guy. I mean, he's got a mouth on him that he needs a smack or two. just like Los Rudos needs a smack or two. And unfortunately, they didn't get it from me, but they sure as hell didn't pull one on me either, and it was great. Gave them the slip. You could say Los Rudos got Munsoned here tonight.
Can we get Bad Bobby back? That was much more fun.
Wonderful. I got to thank the intelligence for being there and basically helping me out, save the day and everything. I mean, I couldn't have done it without them. Because like I said to Assassino before, I might not be a wrestler, but I'm not a coward. There we go. Now Jeff Tyler laying those kicks into Grandpa Dice. Dirty tactics from Assassino all again. A typical Assassino move if I ever saw one.
I think Tyler's just so soft. He hurt his back bouncing in the ropes.
Dice Steel now back in control of things here, and Dice Steel, been working his way back into competitive action, which has been great to see. I mean, all joking aside and stuff like that, Papa Smokes, I mean, for Dice Steel to have been around as long as he has and still being in there fit at his age and competing with a lot of these young guys, I mean, I'll give credit where credit's due. But definitely not going to credit these types of actions right here.
Munson, this is how tag team wrestling is done. They're going to isolate Jeff Tyler. They're going to keep him over on their side of the ring, over in their corner. That's how you work him, how you wear a man down. That's how you work him in the corner. That's how you get a 1, 2, 3 in tag team wrestling.
Los Rudos, no strangers to tag team wrestling, and not strangers to the HIW tag team titles as well. In fact, it wasn't that long ago that they were tag team champions here in HIW. That would have been just prior to the beginning of Wildside TV hitting the airs here on YouTube. So I mean, a lot of the fans who probably just started tuning in since we started the induction of Wildside TV wouldn't be as familiar, but Los Rudos, former tag team champions, and the way things have been going, I would say if they get off this suspension and back into the ranks, watch out if you're Team Flex up here.
That's putting it lightly. If there's something around to win, Los Rudos will win it. Now look at this power game that Dice Steel is going to play. He's so strong, leaning all his weight on Jeff Tyler's body. Look at the energy that Tyler has to expend to get up to his feet and try and get himself out of this hole. To no avail. Now we got this reject from Nickelback trying to get into the ring.
Assassino now in control of things, really working Jeff over into the corner here. And we've said before, cutting off that ring, which is one of their strong points, making sure that Jeff Tyler doesn't have any opportunity to get to his corner and make that tag to Bucky McGraw. Champ is grounding Jeff Tyler, the high flyer, not able to get in the arsenal that he's so accustomed to when he's kept on the ground like he has been so far in this matchup. And Alexander Prime really stepping in there as the referee, making sure that Assassino knows he's not going to tolerate any garbage from them tonight. Once again, I love to see that Alexander Prime setting the record straight, making sure that those tags are noticed. There's not going to be any blind tagging happening here tonight with the Alexander Prime in charge.
Blais. Yeah, see this too, keeping Jeff Tyler on his back. You keep him where he's weak, where he doesn't have his weapons to use. Very sound tag team strategy by Los Rudos as usual.
I can only imagine you're probably a big fan of Dice's work, definitely, because he's nothing pretty about what he does, nothing high flying about what he does, but he's a brawler. He gets the job done.
Oh, absolutely.
Apparently that's the way you take care of a high flyer right there, is a kick to the old breadbasket.
Oh, look at the power of Dice Steel. Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
And again, right back into that corner, making it even harder for Jeff Tyler. Bucky McGraw just itching for an opportunity to get inside that ring, but man, I mean, Jeff Tyler has taken an absolute beating here from Los Rudos. It's going to be questionable whether or not he's going to have that opportunity to get to his corner. Dice finally missing, and Jeff really needs to shake off the cobwebs and get to that corner finally, get that tag into Bucky McGraw and change the fate of this matchup. And there it is, finally, here we go, Papa Smokes. Just flattening El Asesino. Tag back into Jeff Tyler, and here we go. Some of that tandem teamwork we've grown accustomed to in the previous few weeks here on Wildside TV. The Intelligence really finding their stride here as a team and really trying to show the world that they're ready for the top of the tag division here in HIW.
Yeah, just like you say, Munson, both these teams have to be looking forward to a team flex appeal. Winning this match could be a huge step towards that #1 contender spot.
Well, especially with the news that Brandon Van Danielson currently out, so the Western Lions not getting their immediate tag team title rematch in there. So I mean, these teams are going to be chomping at the bit to get an opportunity at the tag team champions before Brandon Van Danielson makes his triumphant return here to HIW. Oh, there we go. Take the champ down. And Dice down too. The Intelligence finding their stride big time here. They're looking to maybe put this one away. What a maneuver.
Funny how Alexander Prime's okay with this double teaming when it's the Intelligence in here. Oh, yeah, look at this.
There we go. The suspension is going to remain on Los Rudos. I could not be happier, Papa Smokes.
I can't believe this. What a travesty this match is.
I mean, honestly, had the suspension not stuck, I was going to go as far as starting to look at getting a restraining order against these two punks. But I don't even need to. My boys, the Intelligence, picking up the win here tonight. You could almost say at this point that Los Rudos just got Munson twice in the exact same night.
That's just a lack of respect as usual from Wildside management. We got this new GM, we got this Alexander Prime sticking his nose in the business. So we don't need any more harassment onto this faction, Los Rudos. They've had enough of it. Take the rest of the evening off, boys.
Bye-bye, Rudos. Bucky for PM. Hey, you know what? I can get behind that. Then again, I could get behind anyone for PM at this point because they anyway got to be better than True Dope anyway.
You make a good point there.
There you go. Our wonderful fans bringing the signs there at ringside. Great to see them out as always. Shout out to Marcel and his great family who make it out to each and every show. Also make a lot of comments here on YouTube as well on our channel. So, again, we encourage it, so we hope more people start to engage with us here on YouTube and do our best to make as many replies to your comments that you have.
Our next match, a singles match, scheduled for 1
We're gonna hold back tonight. We've actually got 3 matches for our fans. Usually we have our typical 2 Papa Smokes. We were able to fit a 3rd one in here tonight, and we're going to be treated to to a great one-on-one encounter here. This is going to be Ella Blake taking on Leo London, and it should be a very good matchup.
Nice, always glad to see Leo London, the gentleman grappler, back in Saskatoon.
I was more thinking it's great to see Ella Blake back on her feet after the beatdown that she took from the Dixie Dragon twice here on Wildside TV.
Yeah, it's probably amazing that she is up and around after that.
Gentleman grappler Leo London going to be joining us right away, and what a name he has made for himself here on the scene. Definitely on the lips of many wrestling fans worldwide and stuff like that. So, I mean, great to have him here in Wildside Wrestling. Going to have his hands tied here. Ella Blake has been showing a lot of promise inside that ring, and I think that he's going to be in for more of a fight than he expects here.
Here we go, the return to Saskatoon of the gentleman grappler. Always a pleasure to watch his ring work.
Said, did you get in on any of the Gentleman Grappler's new merchandise that was for sale there, Papa Smokes?
I did, in fact. I checked it out. Very attractive looking t-shirts and stuff like that. So you'll see Papa in his in coming weeks.
Remember, folks, that and many other HIW Wildside merchandise available at our shows here locally, including the brand new Papa Smokes t-shirt. So make sure you get yourself a Papa Smokes t-shirt when you make your way out to a Wildside wrestling show.
Yeah, Leo's going to take Ella to school here with a little bit of old school grappling. I like it. Alexander Prime's looking like he's never even seen any of those moves before.
And speaking of moves you don't see very often, that was a nice one there from Ella Blake. Oh, look at that. Leo London trying to pull the dirty on Ella, and she outsmarted him. This crowd is on fire. They would love to see Ella Blake pull off a victory here against the Gentleman Grappler.
Oh, wouldn't they love to see that? It's never going to happen, though.
She was close right there, though, Papa Smokes. 2.5. Ella getting this crowd fired up. She's got Leo right where she wants him at the moment. Leo reversing it, taking control of the match.
Oh, yeah, I like this one. Working on those fingers. Oh, yeah.
I don't remember when biting became a wrestling hold. Oh, sickening.
Now you're looking at a quick separated shoulder with that one right there.
Oh no, I remember what he does here. I've seen this one before on Wildside TV.
First the wet willy, now what do you call this one?
Oh
Munson?
no. It's wet something, but I don't know if it's appropriate to say here on the channel.
That's how to show someone you're above them in the ring. That's how you separate the men from the boys, the girls from the men. That's how you show it, Leo London style.
stepping away from his skills. His submission holds and his joint manipulation, definitely a strong point of Leo's grappling game here, and something that people need to be aware of, because it's hard to take on somebody who can put you in 1,001 different holds inside that ring.
Absolutely. Any students of professional wrestling will recognize the Karl Gotch style too. It doesn't always fall within the rule book that we have today, but intensely effective, and Leo London's got it down pat.
And missing with that one. I think Leo London needs to make sure he doesn't count his chickens before they hatch, because Ella Blake firmly in control of the match once again. Wonderful tornado DDT from that top rope. She's getting just that much closer, Papa Smokes. I think Leo London might need to rethink his strategy here tonight. Oh!
Don't you ever worry about Leo London, Munson. Look at that closed palm strike. That's real nice.
I may have seen a tooth fly out there. Someone might have a nice little souvenir to take home with them at the end of the night.
Oh, there's that knee called the V trigger. Devastating move. Blake's looking pretty like she might be done in this match. She's not a lot of response going on. After shots like that, I can see why.
I'll tell you what, she's tough as nails, because I mean, one of those strikes that would have taken my ass down and out for probably a good week.
Yeah, you almost got a few of those tonight, Munson.
Yeah, once again though, Los Rudos got the slip from me.
Ah, look at this submission move. Nice. It's a cross-face submission.
He's got it locked in, and Ella's a long way from
She's
the
tapping.
ropes.
She's tapping.
Nope. She's winning is what she's doing. It's over, Pop Smokes.
She tapped out.
No way.
That's a submission, Munson.
There's a pin. Prime was counting the pin.
I want to see somebody's hand raised in the air. I think that was a submission. What?
No, Prime's calling it. There we go. Ella Blake picking up her first singles victory here on Wildside TV. Congratulations, Ella.
I can't believe it.
And at the expense of the gentleman grappler Leo London. Wonderful. Well, as Ella Blake celebrates her big victory here tonight, Papa Smokes, we're actually now going to cut to a commercial from one of our wonderful sponsors, the good folks at Glitch Gifts. So go ahead and check out this commercial from Team Flex Appeal for our sponsor, Glitch Gifts and Novelties.
Hey, what you got there?
Hey, I don't know. I just got this. It's like some spray. I don't know exactly what it does, but I mean, I was thinking maybe it's like a belt shine or something. So
It doesn't do that good of a job.
yeah, that's not
Maybe
very
right
good
there?
belt Well, how about I? It just smells like, I don't know. Maybe it's like an eye drop or something.
Like, what do you mean?
Like here.
Ah! Oh! Oh! Ow! Oh! Why would you do that? What is that stuff?
What do you mean? It's eye drop spray. Alright, I swear to God, it says right here. It says, "Do not put in your."
Ah! Why would you do that? All I can see is unicorns and glitter. Where is this from?
This is from Glitch Gifts and Novelties.
Oh, this is the worst store ever.
And it's on 33rd.
Oh.
Yes, folks, that's Glitch Gifts and Novelties on 33rd here in Saskatoon, and it's the Christmas season. I mean, we're into December here, Papa Smokes. So if you're looking for some great gift ideas for your friends and family, then head on down to Glitch Gifts and Novelties for all your wonderful Christmas shopping this season.
I've been there, Munson. It's got some great stuff in it. I'm going back soon.
Speaking of great stuff, we're getting ready for the main event of the evening as Richard Blais found himself a tag team partner. We know he's found himself some new ring attire as he's heading down to the ring, but we'll find out who he's managed to pick to be on his side here tonight to take on Team Flex Appeal.
Well, he's looking cool tonight. He's playing the part of the smooth criminal.
And he's kind of paying homage to his fallen tag team partner, Brandon Van Danielson. I'm thinking that down at ringside there, not too big of fans of the Western Lions or Richard Blais, according to that sign. A plethora of talent in that back that Richard Blais could pick from. Guys that he's going to want to be downright evil inside that ring along with him. I mean, we've seen what kind of hell broke loose when Western Lions took on Team Flex Appeal in that no DQ fans bring the weapons match. So to get a measure of revenge on Flex Appeal here tonight, I mean, Blais is going to have to find somebody absolutely nasty and devastating to join him.
I'm so curious to see who he selected.
I'm going to make a wild prediction right now. I'm going to guess Blais would go as far as maybe picking Sheik Shabazz. That's my pick here. I think he's going to go for Sheik Shabazz.
It's not a bad pick. I thought you were going to go with Merle Graves, maybe.
Tag team partner. And he might not be as tough as BBD, but I think he's just about as evil.
Wait, come on.
Oh, yeah.
No. This SOB is supposed to be suspended. What is the deal here? I thought he would have had his ass kicked out of this arena a long time ago.
Hey, this GM guy said that Blais could go back in the dressing room and pick anyone to be his partner.
Yeah, but shouldn't this be anyone on the active roster? Right now, El Asesino being on suspension should not count to be someone that can be selected.
Munson, do you know what anyone means?
I know what anyone means, but I do know how rules work too, Pop Smokes.
He is not active.
Mr. McGuire, I believe you said I could choose anybody as my partner, and I believe he also has a free pass for the night.
Free pass, jeez. Talk about the dirty, underhanded tricks that Richard Blais could pull. Finding the loophole in this situation in order to get El Asesino back out here. I apologize to the fans worldwide that you're going to have to see Asesino twice in the same damn night.
It doesn't look like it's hard to put one over on the new general manager because he just got one put over.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's not hard to put one over El Asesino, as I proved earlier in the night too, Papa Smokes.
Oh, you better watch it, Munson. It's coming to you. One of these days, it's coming to you.
You ever think just for a second that maybe, just maybe, in some strange, bizarre way, that I could be Asesino's kryptonite? That I'm that one guy that Asesino will stand no chance of ever putting a beat down on?
I've never considered the possibility that it's impossible.
There's a team we can all be proud of. Our tag team champions, Team Flex Appeal. And deserving tag team champions. I mean, what a hellacious battle they had at Devil's Night with the Western Lions. I mean, there was weapons. There was bodies laying everywhere. I mean, every bit of the Cosmo Hall here tonight was used in that matchup. So I imagine this is going to be hard to contain too.
That match tore the house down almost literally.
There, Mike McSugar blowing you a little kiss, Papa Smokes. remind our fans that this one is not for the tag team titles, but Michael Richard Blais and his partner Brandon Van Danielson will still be entitled to their rematch clause when Brandon Van Danielson makes his return back to Wildside Wrestling. In the meantime, though, Michael Richard Blais teaming up with El Asesino here tonight to take on the tag champs. My question, sorry to interrupt, but my question would be, can El Asesino and Michael Richard Blais, these two big personalities, coincide here tonight?
Well, I was just about to say, Munson, look at this team. This is like a dream team of indie wrestling right here. Michael Richard Blais and El Asesino. Can you even imagine the amount of talent that's in that corner right now? This is going to be a real treat.
I felt more like it was the amount of egotistical individuals that's in the corner right now. There we go, a little love tap to help Asesino out there. I'm kind of surprised in a sense that Michael Richard Blais would choose to pick El Asesino knowing he had already wrestled once earlier in the night. You'd think you'd want to pick somebody who was fresh, ready to go.
You think El Asesino has problems wrestling twice a night? This guy's a machine. This guy's a pro all the way. He has no problem having a couple of matches in an evening.
Psychologically, it looks like Mike McSugar might have Asesino's number here tonight. It's a good thing Mike McSugar got in that kiss on Asesino while he's wearing the mask and everything, because I tell you what, if he wasn't wearing that mask, Mike McSugar in no way would want to be putting his lips on Asesino. You'd think that Michael Richard Blais would know better by now with the wars he's been in with Team Flex Appeal not to turn your back on these two individuals. And now we're getting a little bit of showboating from Michael Allen Richard Clark, something that he's very well known for and gets the fans in Saskatoon just right fired up for his matchups.
Whoa!
Luring Michael Richard Blais into a false sense of security there, and wow, fantastic maneuver from Clark. Seems like every single time that Team Flex Appeal steps in the ring, they just one-upping themselves. Especially, when their opponents happen to be like Michael Richard Blais ends up being one of their opponents. I mean, we're taking wrestling to the whole new level when those guys get inside that ring. Body drop there from Michael Allen Richard Clark. And Mike McSugar making his way back into the ring so he can have a little fun with Asesino. Oh no! Who would have thought in a million years that Asesino and Blais could get on the same page and pull off something like that?
Just testament to the amount of talent on this team. It's still kind of blowing my mind a little bit how great of a team this could be. They don't seem to have the same chemistry as Asesino and Dice Steel, however. It is their first match together, but still looking good in this non-title match.
Surprised you didn't know ahead of time that El Asesino was going to be a partner for Michael Richard Blais. I mean, I've seen Asesino wearing his Papa Smokes shirt. I know there's something fishy going on here, Papa Smokes. It almost seems like you're somewhat in the back pocket of Los Rudos.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything about it, Munson. You can speculate on what you observe and such like that, but you're not getting anything out of me.
stomps there from Michael Richard Blais, keeping Mike McSugar grounded. Richard Blais very much aware of how Mike McSugar found the strength within himself to rise up in that match, and it was because of Mike McSugar that Team Flex Appeal are now the tag team champions. And for those of you who might be tuning in for the first time, if you haven't checked out that match, I go back a few episodes of Wildside TV to part 1 of 4 of our Devil's Night special, and you can witness that match up here on YouTube as well. Oh, come on. Now get in there, Prime. Break this up already. Bad enough the cheating we saw from Los Rudos earlier. You know, we don't need to add Blais to the mix of the cheaters here tonight.
It's not like McSugar hasn't worn a bow tie with no shirt before.
But at least when McSugar wears a bow tie with no shirt, he looks debonair doing it. Get back in your corner, LS. The tag rope doesn't reach that long.
You let your buddy Prime worry about that, Munson.
You know, I just realized with the general manager lurking around at ringside there's quite a few too many mics here in the building tonight.
McSugar's in tough in enemy territory right now.
Just taking McSugar down. Working every last bit of strength out of Mike McSugar. I mean, just grounding him, making sure he can't make it to the corner, and making sure that, you know, he possibly fades fast here.
People overlook some of the simple, small things. Look at this headlock, the way he's lying with his body weight on him. Once again, McSugar has to work so hard to get to his feet.
There we go, Mike McSugar. There we go, now just finding that strength within him to rise back up and get to that corner to make that tag. And there it is, finally, Michael Allen Richard Clark making his way into the ring. Wow, just taking Blais straight out. Wonderful maneuver. I gotta say, when Clark is absolutely fired up, I mean, there is absolutely no stopping this guy. I mean, just absolutely remarkable inside the squared circle.
And Michael Blais with those kicks, like, absolutely devastating.
Nice reversal there. This has got to be it. 2.5 only. Landing on his feet there. Oh. Oh, and we get another return one. I believe I know what we're going to expect here, Papa Smokes. We've seen them many times before. Up and down goes Michael Richard Blais.
A tremendous impact from that move.
Only 2.5 though. I tell the fans at Saskatoon love seeing these guys inside the squared circle when they start getting the fight forever chance going here.
How was that for a legal tag, Munson?
I guess you're within your limits to use the 5-second rule, but Assassino will always use it to the best of his abilities.
This one's over. That was death from above. Elbow once again, the interference from Mike McSugar. Prime doesn't seem worried about that.
Well, again, you're going to use that 5-second rule to your advantage. It's got to work both ways then. Blais calling for a double team maneuver here with Assassino.
Yeah, they're having a little huddle here.
I'm trying to communicate what to do, but I mean, are they taking a little too long to set this one up? And there it is.
Oh no.
Love it.
Blais, what are you doing?
Can never get enough of watching Assassino get kicked in the face. Oh yeah, here we go. Some double push-ups. Nothing more insulting than when your opponent has enough time to do push-ups off your limp body. Better watch out there. He's got his back turned to El Assassino. That's one thing you definitely do not want to do.
The intensity of that match just stopped for a minute there, but now we got it back going.
There we go. Blais to the outside. Mike McSugar has cleared this ring. And the fans are now clearing their seats because they know damn well you don't want to be in the way when these high-flying maneuvers go off. Oh!
Good Lord, the impact! Just fantastic. Oh my.
Are we gonna fly? Yes, we are! And right into those seats. And Blais, just have a chair. Take a break while you're at it. How about a beer too as well?
Sounds good, I'll have one with you, Blais.
Why Blais is wasting his time, in my opinion, yelling at Assassino there. I mean, get on with the matchup. You don't want to take your time when it comes to Team Flex with you. Blais now to the top rope. What's he got in store? Wait a second. Oh my!
Wow. I think Assassino's had enough of Michael Richard Blais and his egotism here. I think he's had enough of this match.
Wow, just nobody's safe when Los Rudos is in town, I guess. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy it because guess what, boys? Your suspension continues, so vamos. We'll see you again in another count. You know what? We might not even see you again till next year, so bye-bye, Los Rudos. I'll see you again when you want to get Munsoned.
You're just going to make it worse when it happens.
You know, I've been hearing this now since, like May of this year. I still haven't seen it happen, Papa Smoke. So we saw what happened earlier tonight.
Yeah, that wasn't close enough for you?
Nah, not quite. I know what we got in store here. We saw this back at Devil's Night at Hurricanrana. Oh my God!
What?
We did not see it in that fashion. Blais landing on his damn feet.
The athleticism is just off the charts.
Blais just about kicking the ref. Wait a second there.
Prime right on top of things. Looks like he's in full charge in this ring. He doesn't look like he even knows where he is.
I can't believe this. Richard Blais looking to finish this off.
Whoa.
He might take this one single-handedly. Clark just barely kicking out of that one. This is absolute chaos here, Papa Smokes. I mean, Blais going at it in a handicap match at this point because El Asesino has run with his tail between his legs to the back as usual. Blais being made to carry this one on by himself.
Munson, I'm sick of you changing the events like this. That's not how it happened at all. But El Asesino got kicked in the head by his own partner, and he said, forget it with this match, I'm out of here.
Mistakes happen. Just El Asesino can't handle being on the side of a losing streak, and that's what he's been on lately. He got out of there before it happened to him one more time. What do we got going on here? Holy jeez!
What in the world?
I mean, that was creative if I've ever seen creative. I share the fan sentiments on that one. Looks like they might have one more move in store here for Richard Blais.
Yeah, I don't think this is a tag match anymore. Referees letting both men stay in the ring as long as they want. General manager's standing there watching. Looks like the rules apply to some people and not to some others.
And this coming from the guy that condones the actions of Los Rudos, condone the actions of Sheik Shabazz using the brass knuckles. I mean, you know, where do the rules come into play?
Keep it straight across the board. That's all I want.
That's all I've ever wanted too, which is why, you know, if we ever had Bobby Munson as the general manager, BM for GM, rules would be good across the board. There we have it, 1, 2, 3, Team Flexibil picking up the victory here tonight in your main event of the evening. Team Flexibil barely getting by this one. A valiant effort from Richard Blais here tonight, despite the lack of a tag team partner towards the end. But yes, he put in the efforts, but comes up a little bit short, but he will be back, don't get me wrong. As soon as Brandon Van Danielson is ready, we will get that rematch between the Western Lions and Team Flexibil.
Well, hopefully, Richard Blais isn't injured after this. Wildside management sticking him in a match by himself against the tag team champions. He might be injured, he could be hurt. We don't even know what's going on here.
Either way, we had another wonderful night here on Wildside TV. We hope you fans did too. Thank you once again for joining us. Sorry you had to put up with Bad Bobby earlier tonight, but to take out the night, I have been the Real Bobby Munson, and with me, as always, the man with the angelic voice, Papa Smoke. Thank you for tuning in to Wildside TV, and we will catch you all next week right here on YouTube.
See you later.